Oh my gosh, the first 3 weeks after work, pub. Maybe I shouldn't be saying this because some of my friends are applying to hundreds. I applied for one. It was Oracle. At Entr Tech, they're so eager to help you. You can really get the support directly. You can literally say, please help me. I'm feeling so nervous. I need a call.
Yeah. Welcome back to the Entr Tech Podcast. Today I've got Jenapa with me, who's an Entr Tech student who's now currently working at Oracle. Also, quite interestingly, is part of your university program still. So it's a year out in the industry at Oracle. Jenapa came through our program last year and has been a huge success story. So looking forward to diving in to what it's like to work at Oracle, why she chose sales, why she chose Entr Tech, what she's learned along the way through Entr Tech and also through her journey into tech sales and where she's going to go in the future. So Jenapa, really excited to see you again and sit down. Let's go in.
Yep, excited.
Fantastic. So take me back to where you were before tech sales. Take me back to childhood and, potentially education and school.
Well, I've always been very ambitious, just like starting from a child. I worked my way in secondary school. I went to an all-girls grammar school. So that environment was very competitive. It pushes you. It really forces you to strive for the best. And that sort of influenced my decision to go to university because it was the standard. And because grammar schools push the narrative, everyone should go to university, even some of my smartest friends, they decided to go on degree apprenticeships. So around that time, it was either between university or degree apprenticeship. I actually got both. I did get the results that I wanted. I got the offers that I wanted. But on results day, I had like a weird gut feeling and decided to just go into Biomedical Sciences at the University of Surrey. So I was going to go to London, but I thought the financial situation was not worth it. And I wanted uni life. Yeah. So that was my decision between degree apprenticeship and uni, was to choose the uni life first. And the reason why I chose Biomedical Sciences was because it's a very, maybe not in terms of technical, but in terms of the knowledge, it's not something you could easily just take a course and learn. Yeah. It's something that is still a degree that requires years of study. Mm-hmm. So that was why I went into it, because I was good at science. I liked biology, did physics A-level, hated it. So that influenced that. Yeah. So as I started first year, I did my research on, okay, where am I going to go with this degree? And I knew I hated labs. That was it. I hated labs. I hated being a lab rat. So I thought I need to find another way out. Yeah. Then I discovered health tech. So from like Pfizer, GSK, AstraZeneca, it went into companies like Oracle, who only recently acquired Cerner and became a health tech company. From there, I set my sights on, okay, how can I get into Oracle? And then I worked the way back. Okay, grad role. Okay, what's before grad role? Okay, placement scheme. I did my whole research. This was first year, by the way. So you don't apply to placements until the end of second year. And I found out that they had a placement program. So I set my goal. I saw what they needed, what the star candidate was for them. And all of my first year, I worked to become that star candidate. And one of the steps to become that was to do Entr Tech. And that's why I chose to do it, because my uni actually did recommend you to supplement your learning in other ways to diversify your interests, mm-hmm. because who knows what you actually like at that young of an age, right? 100%. So I went online, I researched what could I do to get into tech, really. And I had a background in marketing. So in year 12, I worked for 2 years in marketing alongside my studies. So that was my entry point into the business side. So the next best step that I thought was sales, because I combined my knowledge with biomedical sciences, marketing, business. Next up was sales. So that was how I got into Entr Tech.
Amazing. Such a cool story. And a lot of people, I think, can relate to that. Definitely university students that go down that sort of really technical route. Maybe they might have studied biomedical sciences. We've helped loads of people from that career path or that learning path. Yeah. What was it that really drew you to, I guess, tech sales in terms of, I guess, the rewards? What was it about tech sales that really drew you in?
Two main things. Firstly, I could say the financial side. Everyone knows that salespeople make a lot of money, and it's a skill set that has the potential to grow. And I I'm skipping ahead a little bit now, but even now I realize more and more the value of why I did sales. Because sales at the end of the day, it's talking to people, it's people skills. And now with the rise of AI, it's more important than ever.
Yeah.
So I realized that sales is the fundamental thing that develops your character. And to become a confident person, a person who can continue to do anything in any field, you need sales. You have to learn how to talk to people. And I thought this is such a fundamental skill. I'm going to invest in it.
Amazing. Love that. Did you know what an SDR was at the time?
No.
So you were just literally researching tech sales, programs, or what was it that sort of led you towards Entr Tech and the SDR role?
So I was sort of floating within sales and tech. I didn't actually realize there was something called tech sales. But I did my research online, went on different forums and stuff. And then I found you guys on Instagram. And I completely stalked your profiles, your students, mostly the people who were actually the mentors, because the students are one thing, but the people you actually bring onto your program is another story. Because if you have credible mentors from credible companies with a lifetime of experience, that shows it's a credible company. So based on that was how I decided, tech sales is in it for me, because sales alone, I thought about doing high ticket sales as well. So
I remember you mentioned that to me.
The downside for me of high ticket sales is it's not within, I'd say, corporate or business model where you can have a career growth. You don't get the benefits of a company, and you don't get the network that you do at a tech company.
100%.
Yeah. So high ticket sales, you have there's more fluctuation. You could probably earn a lot more maybe by yourself independently, but you do not get any career growth at all. You're just a salesperson for high ticket sales, and that's it.
For sure. And you're not learning about AI or the way the world's going and moving so quickly. You're not building up that network, and also you're not on a base salary. So a lot of these high ticket roles are basically working from maybe your kitchen at home, selling a gym course, for example. I'm not slating high ticket sales. Any type of sales I'm keen on, but tech sales is the cut above the rest. It's
high ticket sales is good for a different kind of person. As a young person trying to grow my skill set as a whole, tech sales was the best decision.
For sure. And we get lots of people that go through tech sales and then start their own businesses one day, even start their own tech companies or side hustles, because they've got that fundamental skill set. They know how businesses are run from the inside out, which is amazing. You talked about the mentors and the coaches. How did you find them on the actual program? How did you find the program as a whole, and what was your main, takeaways?
Well, I came there with a completely fresh, blank mind. So the most valuable thing that I got was their mindset. And it was being in the room on the call with them sort of kind of blurs the line of what you thought was once impossible. So when I actually talked to these people, I believed from the inside that could be me one day. And that, I think, was the most valuable thing. Yes, they taught me skills in sales, spin, whatever, all of those technical stuff that is really valuable. But at the end of the day, it was the mindset shift of having someone there that you can access. Because coming from someone with no network, no connections, that first point of contact with a senior person really transforms your way of thinking. And that just kicked my drive even further. So
absolutely. And then moving into where you are today at Oracle, were there any skills or things that you picked up on subconsciously that today in your role you're using, or that's helped you, in the first couple of weeks, couple of months in your new role?
Definitely. So this was a little bit from the course, but actually a little bit more from working at Entr Tech. I understood from a managerial perspective. Mm-hmm. So before then, I was like an employee, I was very junior, most of the time the most junior person in the room. Mm-hmm. But because of Entr Tech, I got to talk to senior people and also got to have like a mini team of my own, I guess. Yep. So I really learned how it felt to sort of be a little bit more senior and have people who have to do stuff to, for your part of the end to be complete. 100%. And that perspective really showed me what sort of employee or like mentee, what sort of person, I should do to build that trust with senior people and what different senior people need from you. So, for example, my manager is very hands-off. He trusts me to go out and do my stuff, but I keep a tab. Whereas some of my senior friends, they'd prefer if I told them every day what I was up to.
Yeah.
Learning the mindset of, okay, what do senior people want from you is basically how I think I'm faring quite well these past couple of weeks, is really know what they want from me, even though if they don't know themselves, just ask them, what do you want to hear from me, I guess? Am I doing well? So,
100%. I think communicating and managing up, those are the main skills that early on are so vital. So just understanding the manager's management style and also communicating up to make sure you're bringing stuff to them or solutions to them, being proactive as opposed to, staying silent and, expecting them to come to you. I think it's how do you manage that communication channel, which is super, super, super important.
And that's what you learn from sales.
Exactly. So tell me about the actual job search itself. So you went back to university, so you were still studying after Entr Tech, and then you knew you had a year in the industry to prepare for.
Yeah.
So I love the fact you were almost using that visualization and you'd had this plan. You'd already seen Oracle and you went out and did the work and came to Entr Tech and upskilled, built your network. How was the actual interview process when you went back to university to getting into Oracle? Because it must be super competitive.
That is true, but I would like to say that I'm probably a big anomaly. So maybe it's due to, I guess, my foresight and really far planning, because I knew the exact date that the application would drop. So I think I applied within minutes of it dropping. And that probably played a part. And I knew for months when it was coming. So my CV was ready, completely tailored to the role. Once I got that first interview and I finished that interview, my preparation actually stopped there. Because the hardest part in a job application is getting your CV through and getting that first interview. So in my mind, once I secured that first interview, I don't know where this confidence came from, but once I had that first interview, I already thought I had the job. So for me, it was very easy. I didn't actually apply to many companies at all. Maybe I shouldn't be saying this because some of my friends were applying to hundreds. The average was probably 80, 90. I applied for one. It was Oracle. And I actually had 2 offers.
No way. Tell me about those offers.
No, that was I actually had a recruiter find me on LinkedIn after I had that Entr Tech session to revamp my whole LinkedIn and stuff. So it was actually for the largest private company in Thailand. And so I had that offer at the back of my hand, which is also why I was so oddly confident with Oracle, maybe.
Interesting. And were they a tech company?
No, but I was going to go into business development.
Nice.
Business analyst. So
I
was open to quite a lot of stuff. So, but in terms of the competitiveness of placement years, it's true. It's rough. It's dog eat dog out there. You need to stand out. And luckily, I knew how to. So by being prepared and knowing exactly what they want, I think that makes the process much easier. And because I'm so young, I'm very lucky that what recruiters look at this stage, I would say for internships, placements, grad roles, they don't actually look at your experience that much. They look at your character, your coachability, your mindset, your drive, and your attitude. So you just have to figure out, how can I link these experiences to show that, not just show that, prove that.
Amazing. And do you think it would have been harder without the training?
Yes, definitely. Because the reason why I didn't need to prepare for my assessment center was, let me start by telling you why people prepare for interviews, right? It's because when they recite line by line, word for word, what they practice in their interview, it's because they can't think of an experience to link it to that question. When, in my case, whenever I'd say the HR manager asked me a question, I didn't need to prepare at all because I already lived through that experience, and all I had to do was dig it up and present it to them in a way that highlighted my strengths. So once you go through a certain amount of experience, and Entr Tech was a big experience for me. It was all summer and the rest of the year. So it's probably about a year experience for me. I would have gone through so much experience there that all I had to do was recall it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why I didn't need to prepare.
Yeah.
I just answered
yeah,
truthfully.
Amazing. And in terms of the support and I guess guidance. Did you have support, I guess, one-on-one with any of the mentors and coaches that you can recall that stood out to you? And if so, who was that?
Yep. I definitely had lots of one-to-ones. And it was quite a while ago, and I've been through so much, so it's a little bit of a blur.
Yeah.
But at Entr Tech, they're so eager to help you, I guess. I could literally just say, could you please help me before this interview? I remember I had one interview at a biotech company for an SDR role. And I was really scared. I didn't know what to do, didn't know what to say. Before the interview, I think I had 2 private, just like video sessions. And that really built up my interview experience to just do it. I didn't get the role in the end, but what does that matter? I went through it. I knew how to approach it now.
For sure.
And the mentors at Entr Tech, because it's like a small company and you have a small cohort, you can really get the support directly. You can literally say, please help me. I'm feeling so nervous. I need a call.
Yeah. 100%. I think that's massive value that's what lots of people that, come through the program really value, is that we genuinely care about people's success. And, we are very, I guess, tailored to certain cohorts and certain sizes that everyone feels like they're getting that hand-holding and it's almost spoon-fed the support. Tell me about landing the role and the emotions. Can you remember receiving the job offer? Did you share it with family or friends? Did you keep it up your sleeve? How was that?
Yeah, so the assessment center was a very draining day. It was, imagine a group of young adults desperately wanting this job, and they can't hide the hunger behind their eyes, but you have to put on a smile and act like you're all friends. That was very, very mentally draining. But once I finished that assessment center, I actually had like a small thought that I wouldn't get it just because I had like a group project, and one person on my group was the certain archetype where me, none of you get to speak. She actually stole what I was meant to speak, so I had to improvise. So I thought, okay, right, if I don't get it, it'll be because of that. But I actually didn't doubt myself. And I knew at the very end that if I got the role, I would know quick. Big companies like Oracle, big tech, they accept fast and reject slow. That's one thing you need to do. So I was already prepared, like from when I walked out, and I knew that I'd wake up the next day and I'd probably get a reply. And I did.
Where were you when you got the reply?
At my university house. I woke up, I saw an email. Then I was like, wow. I sort of couldn't believe it, but also did believe it. So it was a weird feeling. It was very weird. Then I called my mum, my grandma. Then after that, I got tired. So I told my grandma to just pass it on. Yeah.
Good stuff. But that's honestly, that's the perks of doing the work and getting a role. I remember my first SDR role when I first got into tech sales. I was like, this is amazing. Went out for a nice meal with family, and it's just the best feeling.
I was delighted.
Yeah. Okay. Going into life as an SDR, tell me like the normal day-to-day. What does it look like when you're going into the office at Oracle, and how does it work?
Well, I'm not actually technically an SDR. I'm sort of like, I'm in sales and I support the whole sales team. So I get access to pre-sales, sales, CAEs, literally the whole team. And the amazing thing about Oracle is the internship is so built on by what you go out to do. So my manager doesn't care if I want to go into data analytics, or if I want to help this CAE more in this department, this client more than this. It's very up to me. But my day-to-day is I usually start off with admin, so always scheduling. And these people are so busy. I don't know, I need to develop a software or something that can like prioritize meetings or schedule it. But it usually starts off like that. And then I go on to a lot of calls, lots of shadowing ones, some where I'm actually hosting the call with a team of senior people, and I get direct access to these people. So I use the analogy of I'm like a kitchen sponge that's been thrown into the ocean. And the ocean is knowledge, information, experience. And I'm just a sponge that's trying to absorb an ocean. So obviously I can't, but I'm trying my best to. And I get challenged with lots of different tasks from different departments because I went out of my way to get that. And it's really up to yourself. And you have to make the most of it. And I find every single day so rewarding that I'm excited to come into the office every day because I don't know what to expect.
Amazing. Generally so happy for you. That's epic to hear. Is there anything that's, I guess, difficult or to begin with is a bit of a challenge to getting used to? Could be like the commute. It could be, getting to know teammates. Is there anything that, you found a bit difficult to start
It's
with?
the socializing. Oh my gosh, the first 3 weeks after work, pub with your sales team, pub with the interns. Next day is pub with the consulting team. Next one is pub with this client, blah, blah, blah. I was never much of like a clubber in university. I only go clubbing with dancers or whatever. And I thought I was an extrovert. I thought I was a very social person. I realized I can't compare.
Really?
Can't compare to some of my peers or like some of like these seniors. They have the energy of a bullet after like such a stressful day, and maybe that's why. But it was very difficult to go out and socialize every single day. I'm so glad I forced myself to go out every time because especially in corporate, going out to socialize is where you actually build connections with seniors, with your peers. You learn more about what drives them, and you grow your network. And at the end of the day, many people say it's not about what you know, it's about who you know, and that's so true. So you have to really go out of your way, especially as an intern. Everyone loves you.
Yeah.
You just have to socialize and keep up the energy going, down Red Bulls and stuff. Just keep going.
100%, as long as it's not a vodka Red Bull. So for me, completely agree with that in terms of networks, net worth, and jumping in and actually spending time after hours with the team members. That's how you're going to meet lots of people, and how I sort of built my career as well. Quick question on the highest earners in Oracle. What are the big sales reps making? Do you have like a gauge on some of the salaries for people looking to get into tech sales and account executive?
I'm actually not very sure, but they're all definitely at that point. They're earning so much that it's not about the money anymore. It's everyone at Oracle who are in a high position, truly from the bottom of the heart, love their job. And yes, they all initially were motivated by financial gain, and that is something for everybody. But once you reach that point, they love it so much that I don't think it matters to them anymore. But I do know it's definitely much more. So I know like EOs, I think, or like project managers, even junior ones, they earn about £80 an hour. And that's not even a very senior role. It's like definitely much higher than me, but it's not the most senior. And you can definitely get there with like 4 years.
Yeah. You can imagine some of the sales reps are making multiple six figures.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And then next couple of years in your career, what are the goals? What are the aims? So where do you see yourself growing? And what would your takeaway be for someone looking to break into tech sales? So 2 questions. Where do you see yourself going? And some advice for people looking to upskill or get into tech sales.
Right now, I'm just trying to upskill with breadth and depth. And I'm trying to pivot into a much more technical role. So I'm working on my coding skills, upskilling in AI knowledge. All of this, I see something to be very valuable. So that's what I'm currently working on. And in terms of advice for people, especially young people, even maybe if you're not young, you don't know what you want to do. You don't know what skill to upskill. You don't know what to look for. I'd say have an idea of what sort of roles you might want, or even like the idea of. And you go into LinkedIn, go into Glassdoor, whatever, and you find the top company for that role, and you look at the job description, and you get lots of those. You can get AI to do it for you as well. See what skills come up a lot. So, of course, maybe if they require a PhD, you can't just go out and do that the next day. But there will be some that come up time and time and time again. So, and pick those out and then work on that and go into like perfect that. And I think that's a good way of knowing what skill to start learning.
Love it. Yeah. You come across so coachable and willing to, work hard, which is just incredible. So kudos to you. So excited to see where the future holds, and massive thank you for being part of Entr Tech and coming back on and sharing the story. And, anyone else who's watched this, would LinkedIn be the best place to reach out to you?
Yeah, LinkedIn. But I really hope I do inspire some younger people to join Entr Tech as well, because I know you guys are really tailored towards career pivoters. But if you have no clue, you can still join.
Exactly. Here we go. Thanks so much. We'll link you down below on
Thank you so
YouTube
much.
and we'll go from there.